Hey guys, it's Alex here. Today what we're going to do is go through safety first. We're going to talk about what you need to do to make sure that you're safe exercising at home for COPD. We're also going to talk about where and when to exercise, and we'll go through a few exercises that are good for COPD. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do with COPD is monitor the oxygen in our blood. So the best way to do this is get an oxygen saturation monitor like this. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to pop it on our finger like that. We flick it on, and then what that's going to do is load up how we're going at the moment, and we can then see how much oxygen is in the blood at the moment. This is going to be really important because when we start exercising, for someone that does have COPD, typically your saturation is going to start to decline. So you can see there on this monitor, my saturation is pretty good, so 98%. So with this one, we pop that on and we can monitor it. Now, in terms of what we're looking for, what we want to do is make sure that this stays above 88. So if you get down to 88, typically I'll start on 98 or 97. You get down to 88, stop, have a rest, and recover at that point. So the next thing to cover is our RPE scale. So this is our RPE scale, and what we're aiming for is 3 to 4 here. So what RPE is, it means that it's how hard you're working. So we're trying to see, are we working really, really hard? Are we working not very hard? And this can guide where we're up to and when we need to have a rest potentially as well. So on this scale, as I said, what we want to do, you can see that 1 is rest, 10 is maximal. That's a sign you really need to stop. We're going to aim for that 3 to 4, so easy to moderate. Where you feel like you're puffing, but you can, you're puffing quite a bit, but you haven't lost control at that stage. So the RPE is a great way that you can monitor your exercise intensity in addition to your oxygen saturation. And you can also see with the RPE, you'll notice that you can do more and more over time without getting up to that 3 to 4 level. Okay guys, we're going to go through pursed lip breathing. So one of the problems with COPD is that we can't get the old air out of our lungs. So for this one, what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in, and then as we breathe out, we're going to purse our lips like we're blowing through a straw. So breathing in and breathing out. So that's going to help us to get that old air out of our lungs and get our breath back more quickly. So now I'm going to show you after exercise, what we find is that, adjust my tripod there. What we find is that you need to find some positions that are effective for recovering. So the best ones that I can suggest in seated, we're going to put our hands on our legs like so, and then we're just going to try and relax the shoulders, keep the chest up, and then do our pursed lip breathing. Now in standing, we're going to work against the wall. So I'm going to show you the best posture for that as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to place our forearm in a 90-degree angle and then resting against the wall like this. And you can even pop your head up there like so. And what we're going to do is just try and keep our shoulders relaxed, keep our chest up, and then work on our pursed lip breathing. Standing fairly close to the wall, so it's not a big effort to be able to do this move. We want it to be a recovery position. One last thing to say with this is make sure that you either check your blood pressure or get your doctor to check your blood pressure before you start. It's very important that your blood pressure is not too high. So your top number shouldn't be above 150 and your bottom number shouldn't be above 100 to make sure that you're safe to exercise. If you do get regular high blood pressure, it's best to talk to your doctor about any sort of medication you may need to make sure that that's under control so you can exercise safely. Okay guys, so now we're going to talk about how to set up your room for exercise. So the most important thing is to make sure that the room is clear and there's nothing to trip on. So just clearing any sort of fall hazards. So, you know, ideally you're not going to have like a lot of carpets on the ground or any other little bits and pieces that you can trip over. If you have aircon, that's a good one as well. You know, obviously it might not be something that you actually have in your exercise area, but if you have it, it can be really helpful. The cool air can help to make it a little bit easier to breathe, particularly when you are getting a bit puffy. And then if you have grab rails, feel free to use your grab rails. Sometimes they can be quite helpful, particularly in recovery and when doing things like step-ups. And exercise equipment. Now, you don't necessarily need any exercise equipment at all, but I will show you a couple of little exercises that you can use exercise equipment with, or you can replicate with something that you have at home. So I'll describe that as I go through so you know what to do. Alright guys, well hopefully that helps with sort of setting up your room. So now we're going to go through the best, or a few of the best exercises that you can do for COPD, mostly lower body, so that's the main area we want to work on. So our legs are really important for keeping us going and reducing our breathlessness. So there's 3 lower body exercises: the sit to stand, the calf raise, and the step up. And then we've also got the wall push up as well. So we'll go through those now. So the first exercise is the sit to stand. We're going to lean forward, weight into the feet and standing up, and then to come down, lean forward, slowly coming back to the seat. You can use your hands to support yourself as you stand up, but try and progress to doing it without your hands. You can repeat this a number of times. Good to do around about 5 to 10 repetitions at a time, and then have a rest for a little while. The next one we're going to do is the step up. For this one, I'm going to step up one leg at a time, alternating between legs. You can see here I've got the oxygen saturation monitor on, and that's to make sure that my saturation is not getting too low. This, walking, bike riding, any type of exercise that gets me puffing is going to really push my oxygen saturation levels down. Whereas some of the strength exercises like the sit to stand that we just had doesn't often do that as much. So extra important that you have the monitor on for this particular one. The next exercise is calf raises. So for this one we're going to lift up through the heels, taking them off the ground. You can use a wall for support to start with, and then try and progress to doing it without the wall, getting up as high as you can. This one's really good for helping you improve your walking, both your speed and your step length. So the next one we're going to do is the wall push-ups, and this one's a really good one to help to build up your strength in your arms, particularly the chest muscles and the back of the arms. You can make it easier by coming a little bit closer to the wall, or make it harder by coming a little bit further away from the wall, making sure your hands are about chest height, shoulder width apart. So guys, that's it. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed that, and it's a great way to get started on your journey to a better quality of life with COPD. If you're interested in doing our course, we offer a fully supervised training by myself, Alex, and we have easy to follow exercise programs, exercise videos, message support, and goal setting. So you get one-on-one
expert support online, and we're offering a special deal at the moment, which normally we offer $10 a week for our 6-week course, so $60 for our 6-week course, and at the moment we're offering an additional 4 weeks for anyone who joins as seen in this video. So if you're interested and you want to take advantage of this special offer, please do email or text the number and we'll get you set up for your initial call. Okay, well, if you do decide to take up that offer, I look forward to chatting with you soon.